blind to form bound by love, a galactic saga. The desert winds of Arcthrall 7 howled across the human colony, a dusty outpost carved into crimson cliffs under a nebula's shimmering veil. In a cavern beneath the surface, Jonas Kell knelt, his fingers tracing the hum of sonic sensors, their vibrations painting a world his blind eyes couldn't see. Once an exobiologist, now a sensory analyst after a mining accident stole his sight, Jonas lived in exile, his world reduced to sound and touch. The cave's echo was his canvas, but tonight a new sound pierced the hum, a voice soft, melodic, desperate. "Jonas," it whispered, not in his ears but his mind, a telepathic caress that stopped his heart. He froze, breath catching the sensor slipping from his hand. "Who's there?" he rasped, pulse racing, fearing madness. The voice returned clearer, tinged with sorrow. "Jonas, please, hear me." It was feminine, its cadence alien yet warm, wrapping his thoughts like a zethra vine. Jonas's hands trembled, pressing against the cave's cool stone, grounding himself. "I'm losing it," he muttered, recalling the accident, shrapnel darkness, his career shattered. But the voice persisted, urgent. "I am Lyrian, trapped, find me. Find." Her words carried images, flashes of glowing spires, a prison's hum fading as quickly as they came. Jonas's chest tightened, her fear seeping into him, real and raw. "Where are you?" he asked, voice hoarse, the cave's silence mocking him. The colony above slept unaware, but Jonas felt her a presence beyond the void. He stumbled to his lab, a cluttered shack of sonic gear and hollow slates, the nebula's light filtering through cracked windows. "Lyrian," he whispered, testing her name, its syllables strange yet vital. The voice answered softer now, strained. "Beneath. Your world. A prison. I'm fading." Jonas's fingers danced over a hollow slate, recalibrating sensors to trace telepathic frequencies, a theory from his lost career. "Hold on," he said, heart pounding, unsure if he spoke to a ghost or salvation. Her presence lingered, a warmth in his mind like a hand he couldn't touch. "Why me?" he asked, the question echoing. Her reply was faint, a plea. "You hear me." The lab's hum was drowned by footsteps. Varathal, the colony's gruff leader, her boots heavy on the metal floor. "Kell, you're late on readings," she barked, her voice sharp with suspicion. Jonas turned, hiding his trembling hands. The voice silent now. Sensors jammed, he lied, stalling. Vara's eyes narrowed, her weathered face unyielding. "No excuses. Work, or you're out." Jonas nodded, but Lyrian's whisper returned urgent. "They watch me. Hurry." His pulse surged, the cave's signal faint but real. "I'll find you," he murmured, unheard by Vara, who left with a scowl. The hollow slate pinged a signal deep beneath Arcthrall 7, alien and alive. Jonas returned to this cave, guided by vibrations, his cane tapping stone. The air grew heavy, the nebula's glow dim through fissures above. "Lyrian," he called mind, open her voice a beacon. "I'm here," she answered, her fear laced with hope. "A ruin. Silari. Below." Jonas's fingers brushed a carved wall, its patterns alien, humming with tech. "Silari." He echoed the name, unfamiliar, stirring his exobiologist's curiosity. Her presence surged, a vision-clawed hands, glowing eyes fading before he could grasp it. "Trust me," she urged, her voice a melody that warmed his soul. He nodded, blind, but seeing her a soul beyond form. A drone's hum broke the silence, Chennai, the Concord's enforcers, patrolling above. Jonas froze, heart-hammering, Lyrian's voice trembling. "They guard me. Don't let them find you." His cane traced the wall, finding a hidden panel, its hum matching her signal. "I won't," he vowed, fingers fumbling the panel, sparking faintly. The cave's pulse quickened, Lyrian's fear sinking with his own. "You're different," she whispered, awe in her tone. "Human. Brave." Jonas's throat burned, her trust a lifeline in the dark. "Stay with me," he said. A plea echoing hers, the drone's hum, fading danger, lurking. The panel pulsed a hollow key's glow, faint but real. Jonas clutched at Lyrian's voice, steadying him. You're close. I feel you. Her warmth flooded his mind, a bond he couldn't explain, love stirring in the void. I'm coming, he said, resolve hardening the key, a promise. The cave's shadows deepened, Chennai drones circling above Vara's suspicions, tightening like a noose. Jonas's slate pinged sensor data pinpointing a chamber below alien tech alive. Lyrian Vey. He murmured her name, a star in his darkness. I'll free you. The nebula above swirled, whispering of secrets, prisons, and a love that could echo across the stars. Zero. The winds of Arcthrall 7 moaned through the colony's rusted spires, a mournful song that seeped into Jonas Kell's lab, a cluttered sanctuary of humming sonic gear and cracked hollow slates. By day, he was the outpost's sensory analyst mapping mineral veins with vibrations his blind eyes couldn't see. By night, he was a man haunted, tethered to a voice Lyrian Vey's the Silari princess, whose telepathic whispers had pierced his mind in the caves below. Jonas. Her voice called now, soft as a Zethra vine's caress, stirring his thoughts as he recalibrated a sensor. His fingers froze, heart quickening the cave's echo, still vivid. Lyrian, he whispered, mind open. I'm here. Her presence bloomed a warmth in the void, real and radiant. The lab's hum was a fragile shield against the desert's howl, but Lyrian's voice cut through, tinged with urgency. You found the key, but danger grows. Jonas's breath hitched, recalling the hollow key from the alien ruin, its faint glow now hidden in his coat. Where are you? He asked, fingers tracing the sensor's controls, tweaking it to track her telepathic signal. Her reply was a melody of sorrow. A chamber, deep below. Silari tech binds me. Images flickered in his mind, glowing runes, a stasis pod fading fast. I'm weakening, she murmured, fear threading her words. Jonas's chest tightened, her pain seeping into him, a bond he couldn't explain. Hold on, he vowed, I'll find you. Nights bled into each other, Jonas stealing hours to commune with Lyrian, their minds intertwining. Her voice painted her world. Siltharian's star dances skies alive with auroras, a peace she'd fought for. My clan sought unity, she said, but enemies trapped me. Jonas shared Earth's tales, ocean's roar, his lost dreams of exobiology bearing his soul. You're not alone, he told her, her warmth easing his exile's ache. Her laughter, a soft chime, stirred his heart. You give me hope, Jonas. The lab's hollow slate pinged, mapping a signal stronger, closer beneath the colony. I'm coming, he said. But doubt gnawed, was she real or a trick of his broken mind? Footsteps clanged, Varathal, the colony's iron-willed leader, her voice sharp as she entered. Kell, your outputs are slipping, she snapped, boots echoing. What's distracting you? Jonas turned, hiding the hollow key, his blind eyes useless but his voice steady. Sensor glitches, he lied, heart racing. Vara's sigh was heavy, skeptical. You're on thin ice. Focus or you're out. She left, but her suspicion lingered, a shadow over his secret. Lyrian's voice surged, urgent. She watches you. Be careful. Jonas's fingers clenched, her fear sinking with his. Vara's trouble, he muttered, but you're worth it. Her warmth pulsed a lifeline in the dark. In the caves, Jonas followed the signal cane tapping vibrations, guiding him through twisting tunnels. Lyrian's voice was his compass, her presence vivid. You're close, she whispered, hope lacing her words. The ruins. They hum. His hand brushed a carved wall, runes pulsing under his touch, alien tech alive. Silari, he murmured, recalling her tales. Her voice softened, intimate. You feel like home, Jonas. The words hit like a starburst, love stirring despite the void between them. Tell me something real, he said. craving her soul. She sang a Solari lullaby, its melody weaving through his mind, soothing his fears, binding them closer. The lullaby faded, Lyrian's voice trembling. "They drain me. Machines. Hurry." Jonas's heart lurched, fingers fumbling over a panel, its hum matching the hollow key's glow. "I'm here," he said, slotting the key, the panel sparking. A drone's buzz echoed Chennai, the Concord's enforcers patrolling nearby. "They guard me," Lyrian warned, fear sharp. Jonas's cane traced a hidden door, its seal cracking open, the hum intensifying. "I won't let them stop me," he vowed, sweat beading her presence, a fire in his mind. Her voice steadied, a spark of trust. "You are my strength, Jonas." The door groaned, revealing a chamber's glow, danger closing in. Footsteps approached Vera, her voice cutting through. "Kel, what are you doing?" She stood at the cave's mouth, hollow slate in hand, suspicion hardening. "You're chasing ghosts." Jonas faced her, blind but resolute, the key hidden. "It's real, Vera. Something's down here." Lyrian's voice surged, urgent. "She can't know. Not yet." Jonas's pulse raced, Vera's gaze await. "Prove it or I report you," she said, turning away. The chamber's hum pulsed, Lyrian's fear a drumbeat. "I'm close," Jonas whispered, stepping into the glow, her voice guiding him. Melody, trust, love. The nebula above shimmered, whispering of prisons, drones, and a bond that could defy the stars. The subterranean ruins beneath Arcthrall 7 pulsed with an alien heartbeat, their glowing Solari runes casting eerie light across jagged stone walls. Jonas Kell navigated the labyrinth, his cane-tapping vibrations that painted a world his blind eyes couldn't see. The hollow key clutched in his hand hummed faintly, its glow syncing with the telepathic voice of Lyrian Vey, the Solari princess trapped somewhere within. "Jonas, you're close," her voice whispered in his mind, a melody of hope and fear that anchored his racing heart. Above the human colony slept unaware of the Chennai drones circling under the nebula's shimmer, their cold sensors hunting for secrets. Jonas's breath hitched, Lyrian's presence a warm pulse in the void. "I'm coming," he vowed, the ruins hum, a siren call. The air grew thick, charged with energy from ancient Solari tech. Jonas's fingers traced a rune-carved panel, its vibrations sharp, guiding him deeper. Lyrian's voice surged, urgent yet soft. "The chamber. It's ahead, but guarded." Her fear flashed, a vision of sleek insectoid Chennai drones, optics glowing spikes primed. "They serve my captors," she murmured, her words heavy with betrayal. Jonas's jaw tightened, the hollow key's pulse quickening. "Who are they?" he asked, cane tapping a narrow passage. Her reply was faint, strained. "Chennai. Rogues. They fear my voice." Her mind touched his, a spark of defiance. "You give me strength." Love stirred a bond beyond sight, fueling his resolve. The passage opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in shadow, the hum of a stasis pod vibrating through the stone. Here, Lyrian whispered, her voice a beacon. Jonas's cane traced the pod's outline, its surface smooth, pulsing with Solari runes. "You're inside," he said, fingers brushing the seal, the hollow key slot glowing. Her presence flooded him. Sorrow, hope, a soul reaching out. "I'm fading," she rasped, fear sharp. "The pod drains me." Jonas's heart lurched, the key trembling in his hand. "Hold on, Lyrian," he urged, slotting at the seal, sparking. A drone's buzz cut through Chennai optics, flaring in the dark, their spikes glinting. "Intruder!" A synthetic voice blared, locking onto him. Jonas ducked vibrations, guiding him behind a pillar as a drone's spike grazed stone, sparks flying. "Lyrian, help me," he thought, mind open. Her voice surged, sharp. "Left! Now!" He rolled, cane sweeping, tripping a drone's legs, its crash echoing. "They're programmed," she said, guiding his movements. "Right. Strike! Jonas swung his cane, cracking an optic, the drone sparking out. Her presence synced with his, their minds a dance, her wisdom, his instinct. "You're incredible," she whispered, awe in her tone. Jonas's chest burned, her trust afire. "We're doing this together," he said, reaching the pod, the seal hissing open, drones closing in. The chamber shook, alarms blaring as more drones activated. Jonas's fingers fumbled the hollow key, unlocking the pod, its glow blinding even to his sightless eyes. Lyrian's voice trembled, urgent. "They want peace silenced." I spoke for unity. Her words unveiled her truth, a Solari royal imprisoned by rogue Chennai to crush her movement. Jonas's resolve hardened, the pod's seal cracking. "You'll speak again," he vowed. But footsteps echoed, Varathal, the colony leader, her voice sharp. "Kel, what is this?" She stood at the chamber's edge, hollow slate glowing, flanked by a Chennai drone. "You're endangering us all." Jonas faced her, blind but defiant. "She's real Vara. Help me or get out." Vara's hesitation was a knife's edge, the drone's optics locking on. Lyrian's voice surged, a vision flashing, clawed hands, glowing spires, her fear spiking. "Jonas, they're draining. Hurry!" He slammed the key, the pod hissing a rush of air, signaling release. "Lyrian!" he shouted, mind flooding with her presence. Pain, hope, a soul unbound. Vara's voice wavered, torn. "This is treason, Kel." The drone advanced, but Jonas stood firm, cane raised. "She's a prisoner, Vara. We free her, or we're no better than them." Lyrian's whisper steadied him soft. "You are my light." The pod groaned, opening her fate in his hands. Drones surged, spikes flashing, but Lyrian's voice guided Jonas, a telepathic thread. Behind. Now. He dodged Kane, cracking a drone's leg, buying seconds. Vara's holoslate pinged Chennai signals, intensifying. "Kel, they're coming," she warned, doubt cracking her resolve. Jonas reached the pod fingers, brushing a form clawed, scaled, warm. Lyrian. He breathed her presence, overwhelming love, a tide in his mind. Her voice faint clung to him. "You found me." The chamber pulsed, drones, closing, Vara's choice hanging. Jonas held her blind, but seeing her soul, the nebula above, whispering of freedom, danger, and a love that could shatter the void. The human colony on Arcthrall 7 buzzed with unease, its rusted spires trembling under the desert winds that carried the nebula's eerie glow. Jonas Kel stood in his lab, the hum of sonic sensors, a fragile shield against the chaos brewing above. His blind eyes saw nothing but Lyrian Vey's telepathic voice painted his world a melody of hope and fear, her Solari soul reaching across the void from her prison below. "Jonas, you're in danger," she whispered in his mind, her warmth a lifeline amidst the colony's mounting tension. The hollow key hidden in his coat pulsed faintly, a promise to free her. His heart raced, her presence a fire that burned brighter than his doubts. "I'm not stopping," he murmured, fingers tracing a hollow slate mapping the ruins chamber. Days had blurred since Jonas found the Solari ruins, Lyrian's voice his constant guide. Their telepathic bond grew a tapestry of shared dreams. She spoke of Siltharian's star dances, skies alive with light, while he shared Earth's crashing waves, his exobiologist's heart laid bare. "You see, without eyes," she said, awe threading her words, her mind brushing his like a zethra vine. Love bloomed unspoken but undeniable, rooted in souls unbound by form. "You're my anchor, Lyrian." He thought her laughter a chime in his mind. But the colony was a powder keg. Varathal's suspicion tightened. Chennai drones patrolled closer, their hum a death knell in the night. Vara stormed into the lab, her boots clanging, voice sharp as a plasma blade. "Kel, you're sneaking into those caves," she accused, hollow slate glowing with sensor logs. "What's down there?" Jonas faced her, blind but steady, the hollow key's weight a secret. "Something alive," he said, voice firm. "A prisoner, Vara. We can't ignore it." Her scoff cut the air skepticism hard. "You're chasing delusions. Chennai are watching, prove it or I turn you over." Lyrian's voice surged urgent. "She doubts you. Be careful, Jonas." His jaw clenched Vara's threat a noose. "Give me time," he said, stalling, her footsteps fading but her distrust lingering like dust. In the ruins, Jonas moved by vibration, Cain tapping Lyrian's voice, his compass. The chamber. Deeper, she guided her presence, vivid a warmth that steadied his trembling hands. The air hummed Silari tech alive, runes pulsing under his touch. "You're brave," she whispered, her mind syncing with his, a vision flashing, clawed hands weaving light, her Silari form unseen but felt. "Tell me more," he urged, craving her soul. She spoke of her peace movement crushed by Chennai rogues. "I dreamed of unity," she said, sorrow heavy. Jonas's heart swelled, love a defiance. "We'll make it real," he vowed, reaching a sealed door, the hollow key glowing. A drone's buzz sliced the silence, Chennai, its optics flaring, spikes primed. Intruder, it blared, lunging. Lyrian's voice surged, sharp. "Duck!" Now Jonas dove, vibrations guiding Cain, cracking the drone's leg sparks flying. "Left! Strike!" she urged, their minds a seamless dance. He swung, shattering an optic, the drone collapsing. Her awe flooded him. "You fight like Silari." Jonas's breath hitched her trust a spark. "You guide me," he said, heart pounding, the door's seal hissing under the hollow key. Her voice softened, intimate. "We are one, Jonas." Love surged, a bond beyond sight, but the drone's signal echoed, more were coming. The door groaned, revealing a glowing pod, its hum a heartbeat. "I'm here," Lyrian whispered, her presence overwhelming pain. Hope, a soul reaching out. Jonas's fingers brushed the pod runes alive, but footsteps clanged, Vara hollow slate in hand, flanked by a Chennai drone. "Kel, this ends now," she barked, voice torn. "You're risking the colony." Jonas faced her, blind but resolute. "She's a prisoner, Vara, a Silari royal caged for peace. Help me." Lyrian's voice trembled, urgent. "She can choose. Trust her." Jonas's heart raced, Vara's hesitation a knife's edge. "Prove it," she said, the drone's optics locking, Chennai closing in. Jonas slotted the hollow key, the pod sparking, Lyrian's voice surging. "You're so close. I feel you." Her mind flooded, his love, fear, a vision of glowing wings her Silari soul bared. "I love you," he thought, the words spilling raw and true. Her reply was a chime, fierce. "And you, Jonas." The pod's seal cracked, a rush of air signaling freedom, but drones buzzed, spikes flashing. Vara's voice wavered, torn. "Kel, this is bigger than us." Jonas held the pod, Lyrian's presence a fire in his mind. "Then stand with us," he urged, blind, but seeing her soul, the nebula above, whispering of love, defiance, and a galaxy on the brink. Zero Auro. The subterranean ruins beneath Arcthrall 7 pulsed with a primal hum, their Silari runes casting jagged light across the chamber where Jonas Kel stood, his blind fingers gripping the edge of a glowing stasis pod. Lyrian Vey's telepathic voice, a melody of hope and desperation, flooded his mind, her presence a lifeline in the dark. "Jonas, the seal. Break it," she urged, her soul trembling as the pod drained her life. The hollow key slotted in the pod's lock sparked its hum, syncing with his racing heart. Above, the human colony on Arcthrall 7 teetered on the brink, Chennai drones buzzing under the nebula's glow, their spikes primed for intruders. Vara Thal, the colony leader, stood at the chamber's edge, her hollow slate glowing, torn between duty and doubt. "Kel, this is madness," she warned, voice sharp, a Chennai drone's optics locking on. Jonas's resolve burned, Lyrian's love a fire in the void. "She's real, Vara. Help me or we're all lost." The pod's hum intensified, runes flaring as the seal groaned under the hollow key's power. Lyrian's voice surged, strained but fierce. "They Fear my peace. Chennai rogues. They cage me. Her words unveiled a truth. Rogue Chennai, defying the Galactic Concord, had imprisoned her to silence her call for unity. Jonas's chest tightened, her vision flashing in his mind, glowing spires, a galaxy at peace, her Silari soul bared. You'll speak again, he vowed, fingers fumbling the pod, sparking. Vara's voice cut through, wavering. Kel Chennai will burn us for this. The drone advanced, its synthetic voice blaring. Surrender the key. Jonas's cane tapped vibrations, mapping the chamber, his blindness a strength. No, he said, defiant. She's worth it. Drones surged, spikes flashing their hum, a death knell. Lyrian's voice guided him sharp and clear. Right. Now Jonas dodged, cane sweeping, tripping a drone's legs, its crash echoing. Left. Strike. She urged their minds, a seamless dance, her wisdom, his instinct. He cracked an optic, sparks flying, but more drones closed in. Jonas, I'm fading. Lyrian whispered, fear spiking. He reached the pod fingers, brushing its seal, the hollow key's glow blinding. Hold on, he pleaded, heart pounding. Vara hesitated, hollow slate trembling. This is bigger than us, she said, doubt cracking her resolve. The chamber shook, alarms blaring, Chennai signals flooding the air. Vara choose, Jonas shouted, the pod's seal hissing moments from release. The seal cracked, a rush of air signaling freedom. Lyrian's presence surging, pain, hope, a soul unbound. Jonas, she cried, her voice a chime that shook his core. His fingers found her clawed hands, scaled skin warm and alive, pulling her from the pod, her form collapsing into his arms. I've got you, he breathed, blind but feeling her breath ragged, her soul afire in his mind. Vara's voice faltered, torn. Kel, she's alien. The drone lunged, but Vara fired her hollow slate's pulse, disabling it, her choice made. Damn you, Kel, she muttered, joining him, shielding the pod as more drones breached, their optics cold. Lyrian's claws gripped Jonas, weak but fierce. You came. The chamber roared, drones, swarming spikes, slashing stone. Lyrian's voice guided, faint but resolute. Together, we fight. Jonas swung his cane vibrations, mapping threats, cracking a drone's leg. Vara fired pulses, her gruff voice steady. Keep her safe. Kel Lyrian's mind synced with his, a vision flashing, her Silari form, wings, folded eyes, glowing, her love a tide. You see me? She whispered, awe in her tone. Jonas's heart swelled, her soul, his light. Always, he said, shielding her claws warm in his hand. The drones pressed, but Vara's stand bought seconds. The chamber's hum, a heartbeat, freedom within reach. A holocom crackled. Silra Voth Chennai, rogue leader, her voice icy. Varn, surrender the princess, or Arcthrall burns. Jonas's blood ran cold, Lyrian's fear spiking. They'll start war to silence me, she rasped, her mind revealing the stakes. Her peace movement threatened Chennai power. Then we stop them, Jonas said, resolve hardening, the pod's glow fading as Lyrian clung to him. Vara's eyes widened, torn. Kel, this could doom us. He faced her, blind but unyielding. Or save us. She's hope, Vara. Lyrian's voice steadied, a vow. Jonas trusts me. Will you? The drones closed, Silra's threat looming, their bond a defiant spark. Jonas carried Lyrian, her weight light but vital vibrations guiding them through the chamber. Stay with me, he urged, her claws gripping his arm, her breath weak. Always. Jonas, she whispered, her soul flooding his love strength, a future unborn. Vara fired drones, sparking, but more breached, their hum deafening. We can't hold, she shouted, pulse fading. Jonas's cane traced a hidden passage, Lyrian's voice faint. There. Escape. He led them in, Vara, covering the chamber, collapsing behind. Silra's voice roared. You can't hide! The passage's glow dimmed Lyrian's warmth. His only light, the nebula above, whispering of sacrifice, love, and a galaxy on the edge. The subterranean ruins beneath Arcthrall 7 pulsed with a primal hum, their Silari runes casting jagged light across the chamber where Jonas Kell stood, his blind fingers gripping the edge of a glowing stasis pod. Lyrian Vey's telepathic voice, a melody of hope and desperation, flooded his mind, her presence a lifeline in the dark. "Jonas, the seal. Break it," she urged, her soul trembling as the pod drained her life. The hollow key slotted in the pod's lock sparked its hum, syncing with his racing heart. Above, the human colony on Arcthrall 7 teetered on the brink, Chennai drones buzzing under the nebula's glow, their spikes primed for intruders. Vera Thal, the colony leader, stood at the chamber's edge, her hollow slate glowing, torn between duty and doubt. "Kell, this is madness," she warned, voice sharp, a Chennai drone's optics locking on. Jonas's resolve burned Lyrian's love a fire in the void. "She's real, Vara. Help me or we're all lost." The pod's hum intensified, runes flaring as the seal groaned under the hollow key's power. Lyrian's voice surged, strained but fierce. "They fear my peace. Chennai rogues. They cage me." Her words unveiled a truth. Rogue Chennai, defying the Galactic Concord, had imprisoned her to silence her call for unity. Jonas's chest tightened, her vision flashing in his mind, glowing spires, a galaxy at peace, her Silari soul bared. "You'll speak again," he vowed, fingers fumbling the pod, sparking. Vara's voice cut through, wavering. "Kell Chennai will burn us for this." The drone advanced, its synthetic voice blaring. "Surrender the key." Jonas's cane tapped vibrations, mapping the chamber, his blindness a strength. "No," he said, defiant. "She's worth it." Drones surged, spikes flashing their hum, a death knell. Lyrian's voice guided him sharp and clear. "Right." Now Jonas dodged, cane sweeping, tripping a drone's legs, its crash echoing. "Left. Strike." She urged, their minds a seamless dance, her wisdom his instinct. He cracked an optic, sparks flying, but more drones closed in. "Jonas, I'm fading." Lyrian whispered, fear spiking. He reached the pod fingers, brushing its seal, the hollow key's glow blinding. "Hold on," he pleaded, heart pounding. Vera hesitated, hollow slate trembling. "This is bigger than us," she said, doubt cracking her resolve. The chamber shook, alarms blaring, Chennai signals flooding the air. "Vara, choose Jonas," shouted the pod's seal, hissing moments from release. The seal cracked, a rush of air signaling freedom. Lyrian's presence surging pain, hope, a soul unbound. "Jonas," she cried, her voice a chime that shook his core. His fingers found her clawed hands, scaled skin warm and alive, pulling her from the pod, her form collapsing into his arms. "I've got you," he breathed, blind but feeling her, her breath ragged, her soul a fire in his mind. Vara's voice faltered, torn. "Kell, she's alien." The drone lunged, but Vera fired her hollow slate's pulse, disabling it, her choice made. "Damn you, Kell," she muttered, joining him, shielding the pod as more drones breached, their optics cold. Lyrian's claws gripped Jonas, weak but fierce. "You came." The chamber roared, drones, swarming spikes, slashing stone. Lyrian's voice guided, faint but resolute. "Together, we fight." Jonas swung his cane vibrations, mapping threats, cracking a drone's leg. Vara fired pulses, her gruff voice steady. "Keep her safe." Kell Lyrian's mind synced with his, a vision flashing, her Silari form, wings, folded eyes glowing, her love a tide. "You see me?" she whispered, awe in her tone. Jonas's heart swelled, her soul his light. "Always," he said, shielding her claws warm in his hand. The drones pressed, but Vara's stand bought seconds. The chamber's hum, a heartbeat, freedom within reach. A holocom crackled. "Silra Voth, Chennai rogue leader," her voice icy. "Varn, surrender the princess, or Arcthrall burns." Jonas's blood ran cold, Lyrian's fear spiking. They'll start war to silence me, she rasped, her mind revealing the stakes her peace movement threatened Chennai power. Then we stop them, Jonas said, resolve hardening the pod's glow, fading as Lyrian clung to him. Vera's eyes widened, torn. Kel, this could doom us. He faced her blind but unyielding. Or save us. She's Hope Vara. Lyrian's voice steadied a vow. Jonas trusts me. Will you? The drones closed Silra's threat, looming their bond a defiant spark. Jonas carried Lyrian, her weight light but vital vibrations guiding them through the chamber. Stay with me, he urged, her claws gripping his arm, her breath weak. Always, Jonas, she whispered, her soul flooding his love strength, a future unborn. Vara fired drones, sparking, but more breached their hum, deafening. We can't hold, she shouted, pulse fading. Jonas's cane traced a hidden passage, Lyrian's voice faint. There. Escape. He led them in, Vara, covering the chamber, collapsing behind. Silra's voice roared, You can't hide. The passage's glow dimmed Lyrian's warmth, his only light the nebula above, whispering of sacrifice, love, and a galaxy on the edge. Siltharian's crystalline spires gleamed under a violet sky, their hum a symphony of light that masked the war's scars across the planet. In a Zenari safe house carved into a shimmering cliff, Jonas Kell stood beside Lyrian Vey, his newly sighted eyes tracing her Silari form, scaled skin, feathered wings, violet eyes glowing with love and resolve. Her telepathic voice, a melody that had guided him through blindness, now pulsed with their unborn child Ilara, a human Silari hybrid whose faint telepathic hums linked their minds. The safe house buzzed with rogue Zenari, led by Zynar, their claws guarding against Chennai rogue forces hunting Lyrian. Jonas's hand rested on Lyrian's, the crystal shard, her oath warm in his pocket. We're safe for now, he said, voice steady, but the nebula above whispered of Silra Voth's relentless pursuit. For Ilara, Lyrian murmured, her claws tracing her swollen belly, their love a defiant star in the void. Weeks had passed since their escape from Arcthrall 7 on May 30th, 2175, the Silari shuttle barely outrunning Chennai drones. Siltharian Lyrian's home offered sanctuary, its spires a beacon of her royal lineage. Ilara's telepathic pulses grew stronger, a soft chime in Jonas's mind binding him to Lyrian. She speaks, Lyrian said, awe in her voice, sharing a vision Ilara's light healing rifts. Jonas's heart swelled, his exobiologist's mind marveling. She's like you, he said, tracing Lyrian's wings, their glow mesmerizing. Zynar entered, claws clicking, his scales dim. Silra's fleet nears, he hissed. They demand the princess and the child. Jonas's jaw clenched, Lyrian's fear spiking. They'll never take her, he vowed, love fueling his resolve. The safe house was a fortress, Zenari rigging plasma traps, but Silra's Chennai rogues were relentless, their holocom threats echoing. Vey surrender or Siltharian burns. Silra's voice roared, icy and unyielding. Lyrian's wings flared, her voice sharp. They fear Ilara. Her light unites. She led Jonas to a Silari shrine, its runes pulsing a ritual to strengthen their child. Join me, she urged, her mind guiding his. Jonas' eyes tracing the spires placed his hands on the shrine, their minds syncing Ilara's pulse, a starburst healing micro-tears in Lyrian's body. She mends. Jonas breathed, awe cutting through fear. Lyrian's violet eyes glowed fierce. Our daughter, a healer. Their love, a bridge across species, burned brighter. Zynar's voice cut through, urgent. Chennai breached the perimeter. The safe house shook, plasma blasts, searing stone Zenari claws clashing with drones. Jonas grabbed a Zenari pulse rod, its hum foreign but firm, his sighted eyes sharp. Stay safe, he told Lyrian, but her wings flared defiant. We fight. Together. Their minds linked. Ilara's pulse, guiding Jonas fired, downing a drone, Lyrian's claws rending metal, a dance of love and war. A holocom flickered Varathal Arcthrall 7's leader, her voice strained. "Kel, I'm with you. Colonists. Defected. We're coming." Jonas's heart surged, Vara's choice a spark. "Hurry," he said. Lyrian's hand in his, Ilara's light a beacon. Silra's drones swarmed, their spikes flashing, but Zenari held plasma traps sparking. Lyrian stumbled, her pregnancy slowing her, Jonas shielding her. "You're my strength," she whispered, her mind flooding his love-fear Ilara's chime. A drone lunged, but Vara's shuttle roared in colonists firing their pulses, felling drones. For Kel, Vara shouted, her gruff voice fierce. Jonas fired, eyes tracing Lyrian's wings, her Silari form radiant. "We're winning," he said, but Silra's voice roared through a holodrone. "The child is mine." Lyrian's claws flexed fierce. "Ilara is ours." Their bond unbreakable defied the void, Ilara's pulse a star in the fight. The shrine pulsed, Ilara's telepathy surging, a vision of peace spires, glowing species united. "She dreams." Lyrian gasped, her hand on Jonas's. Their minds one. Jonas fired, downing a drone, Vara's colonists pushing back Silra's forces. "We protect her," he said. "Resolve, Iron." Zynar's claws slashed, his voice a hiss. "For the princess. For Ilara." The battle raged, but Ilara's light steadied them, her healing pulse mending Lyrian's fatigue. Silra's holo flickered, desperate. "You can't win." Jonas faced the drone, eyes fierce. "Love wins, Silra." Lyrian's wings flared, her voice a chime. "For our child, we stand." The spires sang, a galaxy on the brink. Vara's pulse felled the last drone. Silra's holo fading, her fleet retreating under Zenari fire. The safe house stood scarred, but whole Zenari and colonists united. Jonas held Lyrian, her wings folding around him, Ilara's pulse strong within her. "We did it," she whispered, violet eyes glowing love a tide. Jonas's sighted eyes traced her, his heart full. "For you, for Ilara." Vara approached, hollow slate, dim respect in her gaze. "Kel, she's worth it. The child changes everything." Lyrian's mind touched his avow. "Our starborn." The nebula above shimmered, whispering of pursuit, peace, and a child who could heal the stars. Siltharian's crystalline spires soared under a violet sky, their glow a testament to a galaxy reborn a decade after the battles that scarred its cliffs. In a thriving interspecies enclave, Zethra vines twined with human solar panels, and laughter echoed human Silari Zenari Klaxar, united in peace. Vren Kalor, a Zenari elder, stood in a plaza, his scaled hide silvered, a hollow metal etched, unity forged, gleaming on his chest. Sipping coffee, a human custom, he watched Ilara Kelve, a hybrid child of human and Silari, her crystalline wings shimmering as she healed a Thoraxian's wound with a touch. Jonas Lyrian Vren, hissed voice warm, your love lit the stars. The nebula above sparkled, a galaxy bound by their echo. Years had passed since 2175, when Jonas Kel and Lyrian Vey defied Chennai rogues on Arcthrall 7, and Siltharian, their love freeing Lyrian and birthing Ilara, a child whose self-healing and telepathic gifts mended species. The Enclave thrived, a beacon of the reformed Galactic Concord, where Zenari brewed Zethra tea. Sindari taught empathy, and humans shared stories. Jonas now a diplomat, and Lyrian a peace weaver, led with Ilara, her touch closing wounds in seconds, her mind linking souls. Zynar, a Sindari counselor, approached, tendrils pulsing. Elder Vren share their tale, he urged, eyes on Ilara playing with a robotic corgi. Vren's scales shimmered, nodding. For her. For all. The plaza swelled with a festival, glow lizards dancing beside Klaxar drones, a symphony of unity. Vren's voice rose, addressing colonists. Jonas's blindness, Lyrian's cage they saw with heart, not eyes. A holo display flared Jonas, hearing Lyrian's voice, their escape from the pod, Ilara's birth under Siltharian's spires. Their love defied war, birthed Ilara, our healer. A Brickthar buzzed, "She mends us." Vren's claws clicked firm. Her touch heals, her mind unites. Jonas stood with Lyrian, their hands clasped, Ilara between them. Her violet eyes, Jonas's hope, Lyrian's fire glowing. "She's our star," Lyrian said, voice a melody, wings folding around her daughter. The crowd parted, cheers erupting as Galactic envoys Lila Harper and Omar Reza Deathworlder Blitz, silver-haired and proud, arrived with their husky solace tail wagging. Vren Harper called, coffee mug raised, eyes twinkling. Ilara's light outshines our shock strikes. Reza tossed Solace a treat, grinning. She's Harmony's dawn wags bind hearts. Vren bowed, scales aglow. Envoys, your blitz sparked peace. Ilara kindles it. Solace bounded to Ilara, nuzzling her sparking laughter. Jonas knelt, ruffling Ilara's wings. Like your mom, radiant. Lyrian's claws grazed his love eternal. And your soul, Jonas. Zynar hissed. She heals all Prin. A Thoraxian elder buzzed. Like my songs shared forever. A Klaxar envoy, claws gleaming, asked Elder Kalor. How did Ilara unite us? Vren lifted his hollow metal voice, resonant. Jonas's trust. Lyrian's dream, they defied Chennai, forged Ilara. A hollow flickered Jonas's blindness. Lyrian's wings. Ilara healing a Sindari's scales. Her gifts, self-healing telepathy, bind us. Prin pulsed, like Zethra T eternal. Zynar hissed, like Vren's mercy. A human child asked Ilara's. Safe, Vren's scales pulsed warm. Safe, for we are kin. Ilara touched a Klaxar's claw, healing a scar, her smile radiant. Solace barked a crowd's joy, the plaza alive with hope. Vren dedicated his tale to Jonas, who heard the void, to Lyrian, who wove peace, to Ilara, our dawn. The enclave roared, claws, wings, and hands clapping. Harper raised her mug. To the Deathworlder, spark fierce kind, caffeinated Reza clinked his. And Solace's wags. The husky howled, leading hisses, buzzes, and cheers. A hollow of Silra Veth played Love Binds the Stars. Vren's crest glowed, a human grin breaking through. They were right, he thought, a galaxy of family. Prin buzzed. Teach it, Vren, Zynar hissed. For Ilara's light, Ilara giggled, Solace prancing her touch, a promise of peace. The plaza shimmered with stalls. Brickthar sold hollow drones. Sindari wove Zethra tapestries. Klaxar brewed coffee. Human empathy, fierce fare ended feuds with toasts, not wars. A Thoraxian projected a psychic kin to Solace, who yipped. Vren's speech soared, Ilara's light heals us, human soul, Silari fire. We're one. The festival swelled, robotic corgis and glow lizards dancing human songs merging with Silari hymns. Vren whispered to Zynar Jonas's heart. Lyrian's wings one echo. Zynar's tendrils curled firm. And Ilara's dawn. The nebula pulsed, a galaxy reborn alight with their spark. As Siltharian's suns rose, the chant echoed, Vren, Jonas, Lyrian, Ilara, Solace's bark, weaving through crystalline spires. Vren coffee warm mused. Love bound the stars. The enclave shone, a testament to a blind man's trust, a princess's dream, and a child's touch. Ilara's eyes met Vren's. A vow the light endures. The galaxy once fractured was whole, fierce kind, radiant, its soul aglow with bonds forged in the void, ready for the cosmos's next saga. The stars of Siltharian fade, but Jonas and Lyrian's love burns bright, echoing across the galaxy. If their story stirred your heart, smash that like button to light up the void. Share this saga with your friends. Let's spread Ilara's spark far and wide. Drop a comment below. What moved you most? Jonas's trust, Lyrian's fire, or Ilara's healing touch? Your thoughts fuel our next adventure. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Join our cosmic crew for more tales of love and defiance. The galaxy's waiting, so let's soar together.